Good morning, everybody. It's wonderful to be here. I thank Klafma and our outgoing chairman, Mr. Soundarajan. Thank you so much for presenting me with the award, sir. It means a lot. And wish the incoming chairman, Mr. Bave, all the very best. My dear friends and colleagues in the audience, wish you all a very good morning. So I was sitting there listening to the entire GenNXT. So there is Gen first here in the first row. Then there is GenNXT here. I don't know where I would fit in. I guess Gen 1.5. So all of them did a fabulous job. Left me nothing to talk about. So I don't know what I should be covering. So somebody just mentioned walking up here and said, hey, they've covered all your topics. So what are you going to talk about? I said, I'm just going to bring it. So, a little bit about the journey of Nandu's. I was asked to talk about Nandu's and its journey. So before I do that, I want to thank Klafma for the award. It means a lot, especially with my father, Ms. Nandakumar, sitting in the first row. As most of you know, he is quite a hard man to please. So, you know, they fondly call him the opposition leader. So we have the opposition leader within the family. So if he has pulled out his phone and took a couple of pictures, I think I've done something of. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you, Dad, for the wonderful encouragement so far, and not to forget my brother, Naveen Pasuparthi, the man behind the scenes. He's always stood there, and whenever I said, we have burned so much money this month, he says, we have not burned it, we have invested it. We are investing in a brand. So every step of the journey at Nandu's, my brother has been along with me, and it's wonderful to have him up here, just supporting the efforts of Nandu's and the entire team. So coming back to the journey of Nandu's. So my father started the poultry business in the early 60s. I would like to recognize a couple of people who actually were the genesis of this entire industry. Mr. P.V. Rao, Mr. Jagpati Rao, then Mr. Sundar Naidu, Mr. Dubey. All of these guys back in the 60s started this industry, right? Without which we wouldn't be here today talking about the next business to build on the platform that they have provided. So I'd like to recognize them first off. Our founder is Mr. Nandakumar, who's also known as one of the pillars of the poultry industry. He started the business in the early 1960s. We have seen phenomenal growth in the last 55 years. And we have been part of redefining the poultry business in India, right? And today we collaborate with hundreds of farmers across south and western parts of India. We produce about 75,000 tons of feed annually and over 30 million chicken a year. Okay, I didn't expect PowerPoint to fail. Okay, I think we're coming back. Okay, so we've been doing the chicken business for the last 55 years. Over the time, the business has got heavily commoditized. The reasons being low entry barrier, too many people in the industry, supply and demand mismatch, many other factors, too many intermediaries. So the business has got heavily customized. It has got commoditized, where we as farmers are unable to procure our price. So what next was the big question for us. We sat there and we've been thinking about reaching the consumer for a long time. After being a B2B player for a very long time, the constant burn in our heart was, what do we do next? How do we contribute to this ever-growing industry? So that's when we said we're going to take our produce and reach the consumer. It's from our farms with love. And that's the genesis of Nandu's. A tribute to my father, Mr. Nandakumar. Most of you all know him as Nandu from the industry, so we coined the brand name Nandu's, meaning coming from him. Okay? So the timing for Nandu's was right. It was an evolving consumer, lot of education in terms of revolution in telecom, mobile internet, social media, changing consumer preferences. So with all of these things happening, how could we take our core strength of producing the best quality product to the end consumer? So that was the big question mark. Nandu's was born. So at Nandu's, what do we do differently? We do 4 things differently. It's all about fresh, tasty and healthy chicken. So we went back to the drawing board. We said we will adopt a consumer-centric approach. So we all talk about the farmer-centric approach. We are all doing that to a certain extent. But I think to take the per capita consumption to the next level, I think we as an industry have to focus on a consumer-centric approach, which means you have to encourage the consumer to eat more by getting into their breakfast, supper, snack, and various other meals across the week. So since we've launched Nandu's, my own home consumption of chicken has gone from maybe 2 times a week to about 4 times a week, right? So that's a testament to increased consumption and thereby per capita consumption increments. So we said, chicken always has been a favorite delicacy in the kitchen. We wanted to bring that out, the health benefits of it, and provide a product that talked about the health benefits without compromising the taste of it, while we stay committed to our promise of the no antibiotic residue in our chicken. So why that is so important today? When consumers look at farm-bred chicken, there's all these notion about hormones, chemicals, steroids, and antibiotic residues. So that is precisely what we wanted to educate the consumer about, that the industry does not use any of these things and we grow our chickens without any antibiotic residue. So that was a big effort for us. In short, our mission is to deliver fresh, tasty and healthy chicken without the use of any antibiotic residues. So after 18 months of being in business, this is what our consumers have to say about us. Can you put up the volume? Yeah, it's plugged in. I don't have the volume control. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Shaila.
I am Varun Pereira.
Hi, I'm Harshita. Hi, my name is Akanksha.
The reason why we use Nandu's chicken is
Absolutely delicious and goes with my team.
end result also is much tastier, juicier.
And also it's super soft and tasty. The kind of cuisines I cook, I think Nandu's is perfect for it.
Cleaner, better product.
Fresh, it has no preservatives. Nandu's, I know where it's coming from, it's safe. Chicken is the main source of protein for my family. It's very healthy.
No antibiotics, no growth hormones.
And I'm at peace because my children are eating safe chicken.
So the first was the product as a differentiator. We wanted to redefine that and communicate to the consumer in various modes. The second was to redefine distribution. What that means is, today the consumer is looking for convenience. He's just not looking at walking into your chicken store. is looking at calling your call center, using an app, using an e-commerce website, using social media, various different channels to order for your product and have the convenience delivered at home. So that's our strategy. We have an omni-channel presence. After creating the authentic farm-fresh produce, we had to decide on a strategy to take our product to the end consumer. And we were very clear from the very beginning that we're going to adopt the omni-channel approach. Today we are the only omni-channel chicken brand in India. We have our own stores, a call center where housewives feel very comfortable, call and place their order. We have a mobile app on both iOS and Android, an e-commerce website, a mobile-enabled website. You can also order through various social media platforms as well. I got another video to say how we take this message to the consumer. Can you put down the lights? So the third is to redefine the customer experience of buying chicken. So traditionally the housewife has been deprived of the ideal chicken buying experience. Because most of the purchases used to happen at the street corner chicken shops, which are very unhygienic and unfriendly, and they're an unfriendly environment for the women. So that was our inspiration to change the way chicken gets purchased. So we engaged a group of homemakers. We conducted focus groups. We understood what would make them comfortable and redefine their experience of buying chicken. And we incorporated all of those feedbacks into various elements in our stores. Today, we have set, I believe, the benchmark for customers for experience in buying chicken. So this is what came out from that experience. Put up the volume, please. So that's a typical Indian chicken buying experience, and this is number. Fresh, clean, contemporary, making the women feel safe to purchase from our chicken stores. So that was the the third differentiator that we have done. Fourth is customer engagement. We have completely redefined the way we engage with our consumers. We use a lot of social media platforms. In the past, consumer engagement was only through traditional media like newspaper and TV. It was all about spraying and praying that it worked. When you took a billboard or a half page or a full page ad, you just hope that it works and reach your audience. But that has changed with the advent of social media, e-commerce and various other technologies. And today's consumers are very different. They need to be constantly engaged, and that's what we do at Nandu's. So it's out of sight, you're out of mind. At Nandu's, we have adopted a 360-degree approach to stay connected with our consumers, both online and offline, through various social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and etc., etc. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is Nandu's chicken for you. So with these four redefined approaches to business. So simply put, we are farmers bringing our produce to your home through technology. We are about 13 stores now. We are expecting to reach about 20 by November, 50 by the end of this financial year. We have served over 100,000 customers. We are experiencing about 20% CAGR. We currently deal in fresh chicken. We have recently launched about 20 RTC, RT and cold cuts, and 70 more products are in research and development. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Naren. I think it was a great case study presentation, and thank you for the award. And more and more young entrepreneurs will come up with similar brands in different cities in India in coming years. Now we have 10-15 minutes for question answers. So I will encourage our audience to ask questions to all our bright speakers today. Please have a mic for audience.
My question is to every one of you. What made you to come into business? What is the highest one reason? What made you to come into business?
Like so many other young Indians, I went away to America after my engineering. Spent about 10 years there. I had 2 kids, worked for 2 different startups. But there was something missing. I was not happy. There was something from inside telling me that I should do something different. Like everybody else here said, I learned from the business from our breakfast table conversations. Same thing happened with us too. And I always had this feeling that I had to come back and do something with my family business. So I came back in 2005. When I came back, I left no windows open. I just left no options to go back to the US. I had to make it work. So the initial first few years, I came back in 2005. I joined my father in 2009. And those few years, I was doing my own thing. But I couldn't have been happier than, I'm happiest in my life right now. I think it's the most phenomenal feeling that I have right now, because what you people did is an amazing platform for us to build the next business and take this whole enterprise to it's a completely different level. So thank you all for making such a platform for all of us.
It's a legacy forward by my father. So today I am here because of my company, and it is my father mixes sweat and blood, which we don't want to waste, and so we want to carry his legacy, so that we remain as known as the Kapila, the farmers cattle company.
Well, what made me come into this industry, into Sudhina, was during my MBA, I was thinking whether family business or outside. If I would have gone outside, it would have been a desk job, consulting, banking, whatever industry I would have gone into. But this company gives opportunity, direct employment, stakeholder impact. Almost 40,000 farmers are getting impacted through this. Indirect benefits to more than 4 lakh, 5 lakh people. And that sense of fulfillment through this company is what I wanted to be involved in. So that was my main motivation to come into this.
As I mentioned, I did work for 8 years in the banking sector. So honestly, it did take me a couple of months to really decide if I wanted to join back into the poultry sector. But like I said, when my father explained to me about, how much scope was there, and today, honestly, 5 years later, I'm so grateful. I think I've done a lot of justice to this decision I've taken. When I go into the rural areas, the kind of satisfaction you get working with the farmers, working with the employees, is something, way bigger than anything I could have imagined.
So it's a different story, as Mr. Bhosle mentioned, that I have now been added to the family. So I'll take back, being a farmer's son, always had the instinct and the drive towards farming and the agro business. Having studied in the boarding, then getting into business technology and driving technology businesses in India for a lot of MNC companies, the US-based businesses, what I've driven in India and across Asia. So we as a family used to always keep this conversation, our brothers, Zishan and Fahim, who's here today, how do we take this business together, and how every individual, and we as an individual in the family is so different in qualities and in terms of the drive what we have. So why don't we come together? And I always had the drive and passion for farming and agro business, and especially poultry and the feed and the grain and the soya business we've always seen in the family. So I just gave it a thought, why not get into the business which I feel good to be a part of. I have always seen since my birth my father being involved in. And why not to give back to the farmers what I have learned across my 10 years of experience into technology business and driving technology business for other countries. Why don't we uplift our own farmers in India and encourage them and give them the best what is available across the globe? And that is what made me come into the business, the drive and passion for farming, agriculture and technology.
I think I was very clear. My motivation factor was the 1,000 rupee note. And it could be demonetized now, but then that's what was given when I joined. The real question is not why I joined, why am I still here? Because it's prospering and I see a lot more addition that I can do, and that's driving me here. So I don't have to look back.
Yeah, my question is to Sameer and Gulrej. What technology and innovation you feel or you guys are using for